Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I hope you're having a nice time. As always, I appreciate you guys for taking time out of your busy schedule to catch this one. Of course, I have a number of interesting updates for this video, and I'm going to start with the very good news, obviously, that's coming out from the camp of the Nigerian Golden Eaglets. Sorry, Manu Garba and his team. Of course, they are now in Ghana preparing for the WAFU B competition. Which I mentioned in the last video is going to kickstart actually today, but their first game is going to be tomorrow, which is Thursday, against Burkina Faso. 4 p.m. is the time for that one, and Manu Garba and his team have obviously started training. Last video I mentioned that they had a training day before yesterday, and they also had a training scheduled for 4 p.m. yesterday. But the great news now that's coming out from their camp is the fact that CAF has now cleared our Golden Eaglets players as 100% clean, after they did their MRI test on the players, 20 players in total. And of course, this is something that brings great relief, to the team, to Manu Garba, to us, the fans as well, because we had issues about MRI failure, when they were in Nigeria still preparing for the competition. But again, after CAF did their own MRI test, which effectively happened on Tuesday, found out that all our players are 100% qualified for that one because they all passed the MRI test. So this is definitely a very big win for the team. Of course, for Manu Garba, who said that his boys are qualified. Of course, leading up to that one, he talked about it, that what was circulating in the media was not true about his boys failing the MRI test, and now CAF doing their own MRI tests has now proved that Manu Garba was right all along. To say a big kudos to NFF as well for making sure that the boys who underwent a mandatory MRI test while they were still in Nigeria at the time when that rumor was at its peak. NFF actually made them undergo mandatory MRI tests to make sure that they were 100% clean, and now CAF has now done their own and confirmed that the boys are clean, which means that they can now go ahead and compete in the competition, starting with their game this Thursday against Burkina Faso. So Manu Garba obviously had a few things to say about that one. Generally, he was just happy about the confirmation from CAF right now, and of course, he expressed it in an interview, and then he goes on to talk about the primary objective of this Golden Eaglets in Ghana, which of course he said that is picking up one of 2 tickets for the African Under-17 Nations Cup. Moving on, guys, let me let you know that the new second assistant head coach of Nigeria Super Eagles, Benjamin James, has now talked a little bit about what Nigerians should expect when it comes to this new regime that's going to lead Nigeria Super Eagles. That they're obviously going to focus on goals, getting goals. It's going to be a goal galore for Nigeria Super Eagles. That's the plan that they actually have, for Nigeria Super Eagles, because Nigeria has, lots of strikers. They have qualities in the striking area, and it was such a shame that we could not really utilize this opportunity, take advantage of this opportunity in previous regimes. For example, in El Posero's regime, where we struggled to get goals, even though we had the likes of Osimhen and other top strikers. James talks about building Nigeria Super Eagles team around our most lethal departments, which is obviously the attacking areas, where we have world-class strikers all over the place. He talked briefly about Victor Osimhen and Victor Boniface, of course, as the 2 pioneers, that the team is obviously going to want to exploit. He talks about Osimhen and how he's such a great finisher, that he smells goals, and also about Victor Boniface and his ability to actually not only score goals but also create chances when he's on a one-on-one 1v1 situation. Of course, the priority for the Nigerian national team is obviously getting the ticket for the World Cup, and starting with these two qualifying games that we have next month. James knows what is at stake. He knows that for we to actually get to where we want to be, we have to start scoring goals, and this is what he has now said that Finidi and himself and the other guys will definitely want to work towards. For the next update, guys, someone and just by Eagles goalkeeper Abiodun Bariwa has now sent out, I would call it a warning, obviously to the assistant coaches that are going to be helping Coach Finidi, in particular Daniel Amokachi, as he has now told them to follow Coach Finidi's lead and not cause problems for him. Even though they have their ideas, that they should always try to support Coach Finidi in his ideas for the team, because that's the only way that they can actually record success. Like it or not, Coach Finidi is the captain of the ship because he is the head coach, and his idea has to be the one, his decision has to be what all his assistants are going to have to follow. This is what Abiodun Bariwa has now said. And of course, we've been talking about a lot of ex-internationals coming behind to fire warnings to the assistant coaches. The last time I talked about Victor Ikweba, who actually said that in 2021 when Guavon was the coach and then Amunike was the assistant, Ikweba talks about some sort of issue erupting from that regime, and that didn't really help the team in general. This is why some of these ex-internationals have now started sending advice and sort of warning to these assistants, so that they would be very mindful about working with Coach Finidi and following his leads to ensure an overall success for the team and for the management staff. And another update, guys, let me let you know that Cyril Dessers was on the score sheet again. Back-to-back goals for him right now, as they played against Dundee United yesterday in their Scottish Premier League. Dessers and Rangers obviously had to fight really hard to come from 2 goals down to winning that one 5-2. Dessers obviously getting on the score sheets after a brilliant performance I put up last week against Celtic, which they unfortunately lost 2-1 in a very, very crucial Old Firm derby. But again, this victory is so important for them, and it's now, they've now closed the gap to like 3 points now. They are in 84 position, and Celtic are still leading with 87 position. Celtic has 1 game outstanding, but again, they want to fight to the very end to see if there's a possibility of winning this. But on a personal level, Dessers, of course, performed really well. He played 82 minutes of the game, scored 1 goal, and then had 5 shots total for that one. For the next update, guys, let me let you know that Kelechi Nwakali is in a bit of a trouble right now after he was caught pressing his phone when his team Chavez lost against Famalicão in their Portuguese Premier League. That defeat was actually very very sad for them, because it condemned them to relegation based on the reports. And Kelechi obviously played for the first half of the game. He actually played really well, but again, when he was substituted, he appeared to be on his phone, and it was against the team's regulation, which said that they should not be on their phones. But Kelechi was caught being on his phone, and right now the club is preparing a sort of sanction or punishment for him for that one. It's just so sad to see that they will be relegated, but hopefully he gets interest from top clubs. Maybe in the Portuguese league or somewhere in Europe. But that's the video, guys. Thank you for watching this one. Don't forget to like and share the video, react to any of the stories that you like, and have yourselves a very wonderful day ahead.